Hey guys, Makarov9 here, taking a look at another one of my revolvers. This is the Ruger SP101, chambered in .357 Magnum. You can also shoot .38 Special out of it for target practice. This is a 3-inch barrel and of course the stainless steel version, as you can see. This is a double action as well as a single action revolver, because you do have the option with the exposed hammer to pull that hammer back and shorten that trigger pull, making it a single action shot. Now the double action trigger pull on this little revolver is heavenly compared to a lot that I have shot. It's not real light, it's not real heavy, it's just about right. Kind of like the baby bear's porridge. You know, it's just right. That was shameless. Anyway, it has been safety checked. I'll let you see here. There's nothing in the cylinder, nothing in the chamber near the forcing cone, nothing in the end of the barrel, no surprises. Always, 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 when you close a revolver up that has an exposed hammer, do not ever roll it with your thumb, cock it, then drop the hammer. That allows the natural motion of the cylinder to roll itself with the hammer pull. That will eliminate your turn ring on your cylinder in most cases. And that's something I learned a long time ago from a retired highway patrolman, 40-year retired highway patrolman. And he taught me that, and I could not believe what I was hearing, and I'd never heard that before. But it makes total and absolute sense. Anyway, this comes factory with these grips here, which are nice enough. They fit in your hand just plenty fine. You got a whole lot hanging off down here, but you know, they're fine. This is a concealed carry revolver, so you don't want to have a really huge grip anyway. These are fine. Most people would opt to just never change them out, but I put the Hogue Tamer grips on this with the finger grooves, and as you can see here, that pinky gets on there with the rest of the boys. And it really does help with the recoil and gives you a little bit more to hang on to. And you really do need that when you shoot a .357 Magnum round out of this piece. Now, when Ruger designed these in 1989, they designed them as an option to their Ruger GP100, which is a full-framed, full-size .357 Magnum and a wonderful revolver. But a lot of people liked that gun, but they wanted something smaller to carry, and Ruger didn't have a smaller revolver. This is the smallest revolver in their line, and it is a fantastic piece. This is something that you can easily carry in a holster in your concealed carry states. It's not too big. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but it's something that you want when you're shooting a .357 Magnum load. It's not as lightweight as a Ruger LCR, and the Ruger LCR is also a polymer frame, so it's not even in the same class as this. This is their smallest steel-framed revolver. Now, the LCR .357 Magnum, I have it as well, and I'm going to do a review on it later on. And I might do a comparison video between these two. Of course, the biggest difference, of course, is the steel frame versus the polymer. But you know, they still shoot the same caliber, and they're still concealable. But anyway, the GP100 was a full-size revolver, and this was the answer to it in 1989 from Ruger. Now, they've had the Ruger Security 6, Police Service 6, Service 6 revolvers back in the 70s and 80s. We all loved them, and they were all reliable, and they were all built like tanks. But Ruger wanted to go a different direction and started doing full underlug barrels, beefing up the frame a little bit, and that's what they started doing in the late, actually about early to mid 80s with their GP100, and then they came out with this in 89. They do have a 22 long rifle version of this, which is real nice. They also have a .327 Federal Magnum version of this, which is also a nice piece. Now that round, I believe I have it here. It's right here. That right there is a .327 Federal Magnum. And if you'll look at it next to a .357 Magnum round, you can see that the Federal Magnum is quite a bit smaller than the .357 Magnum. I will do a review later later on describing the differences between these two and what what Ruger claims about the Federal Magnum round and how much different and how similar it is to the 357 Magnum round. I think you'll be interested in the statistics. But anyway, those revolvers that shoot the 327 Federal Magnum, they're about the same price as the 357 Magnum, so it's totally your choice which round you choose. I'll tell you right now, the 327 Federal Magnum does not recoil as much as a 357 Magnum. So that might be enticing to new shooters or ladies that decide to carry this that do not want to carry the 357 Magnum and have the recoil. Now, I know some women that can handle 44 Magnums better than men. So I'm not saying the ladies can't handle the recoil. I'm saying you have an option now in this weapon. But anyway, it does have the firing pin mounted on the frame, so you do have a transfer bar safety system with this. And I'll show you that right here. Can you see that transfer bar right there? What you're looking at is right there. What it does is when the hammer falls, that transfer bar comes up and contacts that little plunger that you see there. Well, the firing pin is on the other side of that plunger. And of course, that's what strikes your primer. It's a lot safer. They started doing that years and years and years ago, and so did Smith, and so did Taurus and all the rest of them, because it's a lot safer system. You can carry 5 rounds in here. You don't have to carry an empty chamber and only 4 rounds with fear that the firing pin is going to strike the primer if you're just walking around, it's in your holster or something. But I've got a few different types of ammunition here that I will show you, and I'm going to do a review on ammunition choices later on too. I've got a lot of videos planned in the future, so subscribe and stay tuned. I've got a lot of real interesting videos. This is your standard 130 grain 38 special, no frills, target ammo. This is your Remington 38 special plus P. If you look at that, you can see the plus P is a little bit longer. Can you see that? This one is the American Eagle 357 Magnum soft point, 158 grain. This one is what you might want to carry in the woods. This is the famed Buffalo Bore 357 Magnum, 180 grain. Hard nose, they call it. And this is one heck of a round, 1,400 feet per second on this beast. Penetration is amazing on that. This one here is one I carry here at the house in my other 357, not this one. I don't keep this one loaded. I have another one that I keep loaded. This is the Magtech Guardian Gold, 125 grain, jacketed hollow point, a real nice round. This one here is your Spear Gold Dot, 158 grain, hollow point. And of course, like we saw earlier, this is your 327 Federal Magnum semi-jacketed soft point. But it gives you an idea of different types of ammunition in the same caliber that you can shoot out of this little revolver. The double action trigger pull is real smooth. I took it to the range last weekend, put about 50 rounds through it, and I was pretty accurate with it, surprisingly, in double action. Most of these smaller, shorter barreled revolvers, if you shoot them in double action, you're going to be all over the stinking place. But the trigger pull's actually pretty smooth on this. It's really not bad, and it's just a pure joy to shoot. This is not a lightweight gun. This comes in at about 25 ounces, maybe 27 ounces. Your LCR 357 Ruger comes in quite a bit lighter than that, but like I said, that's really not in the same category as this. This is their smallest steel frame. The LCR is their smallest revolver, lightest revolver, period. That's a polymer frame, but we'll discuss that at a later time. There it is. That is your Ruger SP101 357 Magnum /38 Special. If you're looking for a smaller revolver to carry concealed, I would highly recommend this. They are not cheap though. They will run you about $600, but they are well worth it. 3 generations from now, this gun will still be in the family, when a lot of your others will be broken down and pieces you can't purchase anymore to fix them. There you go. I will have a range video on this because I do want you to see this in action in the future. So thank you, YouTube, and I will talk at you later.